All right, it is January 30th, a Thursday, 2025. We're on the road in the Digibug again. Gonna make a impromptu trip into town. I think I got everything. Yeah, I think I did. Okay, just looking around like, okay, did I forget anything? Dogs are freaking out every time I get out and do something. Forgot my wallet though, so oh my gosh, hopefully I don't get pulled over. So I had no cards or anything, so it's a good thing I had cash, right? You know, it's good to have this portable money, this digital money, you know, that they want to roll us into 100% digital, which I'm not against it, as long as it's sound digital money like Litecoin. Have you seen Litecoin lately? It's been moving up in price, and it's not the price. I really don't care. I mean, it's ridiculous. Wake me up when it's 4 digits, you know, then it's getting closer to a true value, but it's not even close then. If Bitcoin's $100,000 and Litecoin should be a lot more than the 4 digits. Why did I go this way? Road construction. People getting stuff done, baby. Making America great again. Maga. The dark Maga. Remember Elon said, I'm dark Maga. I'm dark Maga. Like dark magician. I'm the dark, you know, trickster. Not really a trickster. You know, that's a different category, but more of the dark magician. You know, with his X platform and all the digital stuff. It's all magic tricks anyway, isn't it? All right, go really slow here. Careful. Oh man, they're cutting trees. Holy crap. We got 4 people standing around there. We got this guy holding the sign. It's all good, brother. You're good in the hood. Oh man. All right, so anyway, yeah, we've got a week and a half into the administration, and what has gotten done? Bunch of executive orders. I don't know if they're constitutional or not. It used to be that executive orders were like, hey, change the drapes, move that desk out, you know, let's orders for the White House, you know, for the executive, you know, living quarters kind of thing. Now it's, we're just gonna create an edict and tell people what to do. Like, we're gonna crack down on anti-Semitism. That's an interesting thing. What's a Semite? Who's really a Semite? But, you know, we take that as being anti, you know, Israel. But yeah, why do you need an executive order for that? It doesn't make a lot of sense. Oh man, that building's for sale. That's a lot of space there. But yeah, what's the point in having, you know, one group that, oh, we can't discriminate against that group too much. You know, we'll pick the dogs, you know, pick something else. I get it, you know, it's because, you know, it's going to unwind whatever really a Semite is. Okay, fine, we're playing 10D chess now. Is what it is. But we've got 90 missiles that Israel has been authorized to send to Ukraine by the U.S. has authorized it. So what's that tell you? And then this whole, we're not going to trade with anybody here lately. I think Israel was on the list where it's like, hey, we're going to leave them alone. You got to look behind the curtain, folks. It all looks good on the surface, but you really got to question what's going on. You really got to question who's invested in the mRNA stuff. A lot of them. CRISPR technologies. So, on the surface, everything looks good. You know, we're telling people that, hey, you guys can't come, you know, take an eight month, you know, what is it, leave of that, pay cut, what is it, parachute, what do they call it, severance pay. You know, you got government employees, hey, take some severance pay here. The thing is, this all looks good, but you've got orders that are going down through the Department of Education. You know, the Department of Education, this is how we need to treat people, this is what we need to do, we need to change this, we need to, why do we have a Department of Education? Weren't we talking about getting rid of that before, you know, we got sworn in? Why is that not just eliminated? Where's Congress? What are we passing? Are we passing any kind of legislation here? Are we passing any kind of, you know, let's gut ourselves by, you know, 90%? This has got to happen, and it has to happen quickly. I know not everybody's appointed yet. You got to give it time, but have 4 years to get this planned out. Get your ducks in a row and start eliminating government, or maybe you won't eliminate government. Maybe we're just going to make it look more efficient, and, you know, we're through attrition. We're going to kind of let it roll out with AI coming on board. It's going to make things more efficient and eliminate jobs that way, eliminate humans that way. But on the flip side of it, we're going to do absolutely everything you do. Everything's going to be automated. It's going to be like pre-crime, You know, what's the movie with Tom Cruise where they have the, you know, in the water, you know, the psychics in the water? I think that's one. Anyway, that's another one. If it isn't, well, yeah, it's you got a Minority Report. There you go. Go look that one up. That's the kind of world I think some of these people want, and we got to be careful because we let these people have too much control. That's the world you're going to get. I'm not a fan of that pre-crime stuff. You know, think about this. I mean, AI can be used for great things. I think there's great potential. Does it need to be, you know, a $500 billion AI supercenter and multiples of them? What's all this energy needed for? I mean, we got to punch and crunch numbers that hard to figure stuff out that we can't figure out. Once AI reads all the materials, all the sources that are out there, then what's it used? Because once it has it, it's just a matter of, okay, well, you know, it's just, what do we do? How do we fix anything? I mean, where do we go from there? You know, well, what if we can read everybody's DNA? I mean, I get it. You know, we got a problem in the medical system to where, you know, a lot of people don't go to the doctor because they realize, hey, I got to do all these tests, my insurance isn't going to cover it, or I don't have insurance. How am I going to pay for it? So you just don't do it. You just get sick and die, you know, and you just suffer. Now, what if we had the ability where everybody had access to the internet, everybody had broadband, whatever, and we had that, and then you also had the ability to, you know, have a doctor on call, basically an AI doctor, and which would be much better than a regular doctor, I think, unless they're very specialized, but like a general practitioner. So essentially, you could put a monitor on you, like an Apple Watch or something like that, and then you could tell this AI, you know, hey, what's wrong with you? It checks all your vitals, all this stuff, with all the symptoms, and then with all the memory, you know, all the history of the, you know, medical knowledge at its fingertips, so to speak, digital fingertips, it can pull back what's wrong. I mean, the likelihood it's going to know what the problem is. You know, rather than one doctor that's limited in his or her scope. Oh, it sounds like this. There might have been a study that talked about this. Well, the study's pulled, right, AI pulls the study. I mean, it pulls all this information together, and you're probably going to get an accurate diagnosis without going through a bunch of tests. And, I mean, a lot of those tests can be done, like I said, if you're wearing an Apple Watch or some kind of wristband or something. And think of the cost savings and, you know, the lack of, you wouldn't have to go make trips and, like, the preventive care that would happen at that point. Stay in your lane, dude. I mean, you know, yeah, I just see great benefits to that, especially people in rural areas to where you can't go to the doctor immediately for every little thing. I mean, I know people that go to the emergency room for everything. It's because the state's paying for it. Yeah, otherwise they wouldn't do that. Horse. Franny says a horse. Of course. So, I mean, there's a lot of good things, but a lot of bad things, too, can come of it. You know, you should be able to do that and have your own medical profile saved somewhere in the blockchain that only you and authorized people can access. Maybe the doctors can't access that, or they can only temporarily. Or do you even need to give your identity when you're talking to this AI doctor? Why do you even need to do that? You should be anonymous, but you can have a profile, you know, saved up on your, you know, little cloud or whatever it is, you know, that you can access, you know, in a very secure way. I think Digibyte blockchain kind of thing. I mean, you should be able to do that, but why do we even need to have an identity? You know, the only reason is because so they can, oh, look at the records and, oh, this is where it's at when you transfer doctors and this, and it's, well, no. Why do we even need to identify ourselves? There's no sense in that when all we need is the information. So, I don't know. We got to rethink how we're doing things. That's kind of how I look at it. You know what? I should not park here. Doesn't matter. We're going to hash it out later. And I was just thinking I'll probably open that door and who cares, you know? All right. So, there's a lot of things. We just got to be very careful. I could see us getting rolled into this dark Maga system. You know, this dark magician trick to where you think, everything looks great. Okay, Guantanamo Bay's open. Well, who's it open for? You know, you can say all the right, watch the water. You can say all the right, then the helicopter and plane crash into the water. You can say all the right things, but are you just playing the script? So in other words, I've always had this thought that, oh my gosh, it's the end times. The book of Revelation is coming true. You know, God foretold this. You know, the prophet, you know, John saw this and saw these visions. Don't you think that the bad actors, that want to take over the world know that script. It's only been around for 2,000 years. Don't you think that they would attempt to make that happen on their own and kind of make it a self-fulfilling prophecy? And, I mean, steer it the way they want to steer it? They know the playbook. So you got to be careful with that stuff. I mean, you know, what is it? Even the wise men or the saints or the elect will be deceived. You got to think, are you going to be deceived when that happens? Or you think, oh, no, it's not this time. I can see what's happening. You got to question everything. And this is what upsets me. I see a lot of people questioning things, but I see other people just blindly say, nope, this is the way it is. Trust the plan, do this. It's like, what's the plan, though? Who's running the plan? I mean, I'm all for fixing everything. However, you got to realize who you're dealing with. These people know the playbook, too. And when it says most people will be deceived, most people will be deceived. And you won't realize it when it's happening to you. So you've got to be, I just look at a skeptic by nature. I'm skeptic by nature. That's why I hate you. It's just the way it is. So be skeptical, be very wary, because we're in a time where things could spiral out of control very quickly with the technology and the resources being put into that technology. Next thing you know, you're sucked into the matrix for good, and you ain't getting out. All right. I'm looking at some Litecoin. You know, it's been moving, you know, it's sound money for the digital age. I talked about that a little bit earlier, but I mean, it's so way undervalued for what it does with the privacy and the security. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Digibyte too. That ratio, Litecoin to Digibyte, I saw it hit 12,000 to 1. That's crazy. Crazy. But I get it. You know, Litecoin is going to shine. It's going to be the belle of the spring ball. I mean, it's got everything going for it. It's got all these ETFs. It's got all this stuff. Not that I'm for it, because I don't want permission to use the money. You know, to me, that's kind of a negative. Yeah, but price will go up. And it's like, okay, well, be careful what you wish for. You get it locked up like Bitcoin. And next thing you know, you got controllers, you know, that make decisions going forward because there's too much invested. All right, hash it out. Already thinking about it, you know, smoking a cigar. It's coming and hitting me. Hash it out today, 4 p.m. Central Time on Blind Dave's channel. The link is below. Come check it out. We'll talk about all these things. And then tomorrow we're talking about all these things and a lot more woo. I'll get real woo-woo, because I'll be doing a little consume. I'll be getting into the spirits and channeling them. So that's tomorrow around probably 5 p.m. Central Time on the lovely Litecoin Lisa's YouTube channel. That is below the link there also. Click subscribe, hit the notification bell. All right, I love y'all. Exit that vampire casino, but most of all, be a skeptic and trust yourself. All right, have a wonderful Thursday.